You might see that in communications. And I'm also an account manager. I've been with Lure for a couple of years now. And yeah, we're here to give you an overview of your insurance. I'm mainly here to back up Ben. So if anyone has any questions throughout the presentation, please put it in the chat and I will keep an eye on that and answer any questions that come up. As long as they're general, they can't be too personal because we can't get into that information and those details in front of everyone. But we'll definitely give you ways to contact us if you do have personal questions like that. So other than that, I'm going to hand it off to Ben.
All right, yeah. So kind of diving into things, I wanted to start off with a story. So growing up, I love camping and getting out in nature, doing the type of stuff. So I enrolled in the Boy Scouts, which is just like a program where you get to get out and hike and earn merit badges by doing certain tasks and everything. And one of the tasks when I was in second or third grade, I think it was second grade, was to get the woodworking merit badge, which requires you, one of the requirements is that you have to carve a certain item and use it as a neckerchief or something that you can, use down the line. So we went over to this guy's house and I was carving a axe, funny enough. And when I was carving, my mom was behind me and was kind of helping guide me and everything. And I looked up and all of a sudden the guy across from me had a completely white face, was just like, oh no, what's going on? I looked down, I actually had sliced the very front of my finger pretty badly. So it was a little painful. There were a couple tears. I don't care to admit that I was crying, but there were a couple tears involved. But immediately after that, we went to the hospital, an emergency room, and got stitches as well as a shot to get that. 3 stitches. So you think that wouldn't cost very much, but in the health insurance system in the United States, stuff gets expensive very quickly. And if we didn't have insurance involved, or if I didn't have insurance or my mom didn't have insurance, it would have cost us like $6,000 for those 3 stitches in that shot. So it kind of highlights the importance of having insurance in place and why Lure is here to make sure that you save as much as possible if something does happen to you while you're here. So kind of a funny story to start things off. But I'm going to start off sharing my screen and we're just going to go into the Luremark website. Okay, so this is the main luremark.com website. That's just if you type in luremark.com. And there are a few things on this page I want to cover, but we'll also cover more things on your main page. So the first thing we want to go over is the ID card and claims button right here. It is actually the same as your student login. So if you were to click either here or up here in the corner, it will take you to a page where you'll be able to log in using your student ID number. So you'll just put in your ID number there, and your initial password is going to be your birthday and month, day, year. So I really don't want to tell you guys my birthday because it shows how old I am, but my birthday is December 15th, 1990. So I would just, if I was logging in, I would put in 121519990, just like that. And after you log in, you'll be prompted to change your password as well as answer some security questions, just so that you can log in securely. But after that, you'll be able to pull your ID card as well as look at claims. Now, your ID card is going to be something we highly recommend you would keep with you at all times, just in case if something were to happen, you'd be ready for any situation. So when you go to the doctor, make sure you have this. This is an example for Harrisburg. And on the main page is going to have your member ID number, your name, the group name, and the Aetna group number. Now,
Hey, Ben,
Lure Market.
we're not seeing what you're showing. if you're doing the insurance card.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing here. Let me see if we can show a different screen.
I also had a question about the ID number because that's often a source of confusion. When we are submitting the insurance enrollment, we're listing the student's HACC ID number, only the numeral part of it. But does that number change? Will they have a different ID number eventually, or something like that?
No, so really the student login space here takes 9 digits. So if your numeric part of your student ID number is less than 9 digits, it'll just add some zeros at the front. So if it's 7 digits long, it'll have 2 zeros at the front and then followed by the student ID number.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that should work. And then once they log in, and then they see their insurance card here, their member ID number can also work in place of their student ID number. So both numbers can work when logging in. There we go, Ben. Yeah, we see it now.
All right,
so
perfect.
I have a question. When I log in, it doesn't show me the ID card. When I'm trying to go to the online ID cards, it just says like open the file, and when I'm trying to open the file, it says the file is corrupted.
Interesting. And was that Omer? Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Let me take your name down and
I can reach out to you, Omer, here in the chat if you're able to do that. I can do you directly.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect. So since you guys couldn't see the screen, I'll go over this again. It will show your member ID as well as your name, the group name, which is Harrisburg Area Community College, and your group number for Aetna. So you may be wondering, since this is Luremark Student Insurance, what's Aetna? Aetna is our primary care provider, so our PPO network, and they have contracts with hospitals, providers, mental health counselors, other things around your area and in the entire United States. And they get special rates because they have those contracts with those providers. So anytime you go to a doctor, if they're asking who your network is or what network you're in, say you're in the Aetna network, not in the Luremark Student Insurance Network. We're a small company, they may not recognize us, but they'll recognize the Aetna portion of it. And then if we scroll down a little bit further, there'll be some copays that are listed out. So copays may be something you guys are not familiar with. They are an amount that you will have to pay each time you go to a specific doctor or in a specific situation. So it's separate from your deductible. For example, let's say that you're going to visit just a regular doctor about a sinus infection. It would be subject to the deductible, but you would also pay the $20 copay as well. And as you can see, the copays are higher for hospital and ER copay. So we always recommend that you try going to either your student health center, which we'll cover later, or a CVS Minute Clinic or Teladoc. So we'll cover all of those in a little bit. And the second page is for Elixir, which is our prescription drug provider. So they will help with the prescription drug part of it. So that kind of an example of your ID card. And I'll switch back to the main screen here. All right. And if you have any questions about logging in at all, there's 3 ways you can contact us. We have an awesome team of student advocacy advisors. You can call us by just clicking right there, or our number is down below here. You can email us just by clicking there or via the email right there. And we also have this cool chat option over here, which will chat with someone in our office. They are a real person. They're sitting right next to me and they're great. So they're available as well. So if you have any questions, we're always here to help. So if we go back to the main page, you can type in Harrisburg Area Community College. It will take you to Harrisburg's main page. And right here, you'll be able to click the plan year that you're going to be using. But since 23-24 is the current year, we'll leave it there. And there's also that contact information I talked about earlier with the phone number, the email address, and the chat option is still over here in the corner. So those are all options as well. And these four tiles here, are kind of the main base for everything with LureMark. They have a lot of information in here. So if you have any questions at all when I'm talking about this, don't hesitate to speak up. So the first one is the print ID card. If we were to click that tile, it would take us back to the student login page, which we already covered. And then we have this plan summary. So the plan summary is, you can think of it as a cheat sheet for all the information associated with your plan. So if we click that, it will break down some of the key points of the plan. So starting off, maximum per injury or sickness under the plan is $300,000. And like I was talking about a deductible yesterday, well, not yesterday, earlier, the annual deductible is $0. So you won't have to pay, well, you have to pay the copay, but if you go to the doctor's office, you will not have a minimum amount you have to meet before insurance kicks in. And there's also pre-existing conditions. So pre-existing conditions, there's a 6-month waiting period for any conditions that exist prior to insurance starting. However, there is a benefit of $2,500, which you can use during that time period to cover some of those pre-existing conditions. There's also Student Health Center or CVS walk-in clinic benefits. So if you go to a Student Health Center or CVS walk-in, you will not have to pay any part of that copay at all that we discussed earlier. So it's a great way or a great place to start if you do have something come up like a stomach issue, flu. Of course, if you have, an emergency situation, like let's say that, you cut yourself very badly and bleeding profusely, that would be a hospital or emergency room type of situation. And then we have the in-network and out-of-network coverage. So, Milton, did you have a question? Okay. Well, going on, the in-network and out-of-network options is something that is available as well. So in-network is within that Aetna network that we described previously. And out-of-network is just any doctor that's not in the Aetna network. You can go to anybody that you want to. It's just recommended you try Aetna first, just because it will save you the most in the long run. So if you were to go to an in-network provider with your plan for an office visit, you would just pay the $20 copay, and then everything else would be covered under the plan. For an out-of-network, it would actually be a little bit different. So insurance would cover 80% of the costs associated with that office visit, and you would be responsible for 20% in addition to a $20 copay. So that's kind of in-network, out-of-network operates. And a hospital visit, like we were talking about, is a $100 copay. So it's a little bit more expensive than going to the office. And emergency room is also higher. So reserve hospital and emergency room visits for emergency situations or situations that need a lot of attention very quickly. And then we have the wellness benefits. So this is a benefit associated with the plan that you can use for just regular checkups, immunizations if you need to, kind of just costs associated with preventative care and making sure that you're healthy through the year. And there's also a prescription drug benefits here. And so inpatient and outpatient. Inpatient is just any situation where you are admitted to the hospital. So let's say, going back to my situation in Boy Scouts, instead of a finger getting cut, I had to stay in the hospital for an extended period of time. That would be considered inpatient. So any drugs that are given to you while you're inpatient are covered 100%, up to $2,005. Oh, excuse me, up to 100%. And then any outpatient is covered at 50%. So insurance would cover half the cost, and then you would be responsible for the other half, up to $2,500. And also, there's more information about the contact information here, as well as some of our ancillary services on the side that we'll go about in a little bit, that also are free to you and are a great tool for you to have if you're trying to save money as well. Any questions about the plan summary or anything that I just covered?
I have a question.
Mhm.
For the wellness test, can we do it anywhere, or is it just at CVS clinic?
You can do it anywhere, but we would recommend you try to go to a CVS clinic, just because it could save you a little bit more in the long run, but you can use that anywhere.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good question. Any other questions? All right. So going back to the main page, right next to the plan summary, there's the plan brochure. And this really gets into the weeds, or gets into the minute or granular information on the plan. So if you're looking for a really good thing to read, go to, but it's our teledoc with their breakdown of the ID card, walks through how to find a doctor, which we'll go over, claims questionnaire, and it goes a lot more detail about your benefits. So it has more information about the co-pays, co-insurance, as well as there's exclusions under the plan, as well as certain benefits that are available. So it's there if you want to review and kind of take a look and see what's covered and what's not. And then let's say that something comes up and you do need to see a doctor. How do I figure out who's in plan or who's in the Aetna network? So to find that out, you would just click for search for a doctor here. You'll be taken to this main page. Again, Aetna is our network, so always keep that in mind. And then you click the Find an Aetna Provider. You'll be taken to this page here, and you can enter in either Harrisburg here, or you can enter in via zip code, but I'll do zip code just so we see it. And then you can also change the distance that you would like. So if you want to keep it relatively close to you, that's fine. Or if you want to expand the area to search, you can do that. But we'll leave it at 32 miles. All you have to do is click search. And there's two options available: Passport to Healthcare Primary PPO and Passport to Healthcare Secondary PPO network. Both options are great, but I'll click the Primary PPO network. And on this main page, there's going to be several options available where you can choose between medical doctors and specialists, hospitals and facilities that are in network, urgent care, walk-in clinics, mental health. There's a multitude of options. So let's say I want to go into a walk-in clinic. And using the zip code, it will pull up all the walk-in clinics near you that you can visit. And like I said, there's that CVS Minute Clinic you can visit if you want to. It's 2 miles away, so not that far at all. And there's some other ones like Pinnacle Health, Fast Care, and they also have their phone numbers and the addresses, so you can go visit them. Going back, you can, yes.
So the Minute Clinic does not have a copay, right? But the other ones on that list do.
That is correct, yes. So the CVS Minute Clinic does not have a copay associated with it. So like we were talking about, either try going to your student health center, CVS Minute Clinic first, or Teladoc, which we'll cover in a little bit for if you're feeling unwell. Try those first, just so you can save as much money as possible.
Thank you.
And now let's say that you already have a doctor you want to see if they're in network. So let's say Dr. Jackson is the doctor I've been seeing. So if we were just to type in Jackson, it's a little out of the way, but he's in York, and he is in network. And it will just show the distance, the 8 miles away, his phone number and ratings, and other information about him. So that's a good way to check if your current doctor or your current primary care is in network with Aetna. And let's say I don't have a primary care or I don't have a doctor yet, but I want to find one. You can do that as well with medical doctors and specialists button right here. And then you can click on doctors, primary care. And then you can click on general practice physician, for example, or family practice. And it'll bring up a list of doctors in your area that meet those criteria, as well as their phone numbers that are in network and the distance they are away. And another cool option about this, so let's say that you want to find someone that speaks your language, a doctor that speaks your language. You can click here and it'll bring up all the languages available in the area. Or if you want to filter by a male or female doctor, you can click this and you can filter results that way as well. So it's highly customizable to you and allows for you to find doctors that you're comfortable with and will provide the care that you're looking for. Any questions about finding a provider or anything like that?
I see Milton's hand is
A
up.
question, but it's not about this really. Can I ask it?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, my question is that kind of benefit available for our dependents?
Good question. So the Lure Mark insurance plan, the direct plan would be only for you, but we can go over dependent options in a little bit. We do have a plan that you can purchase for them separately. Good question.
So it's gonna be a little bit more expensive, right?
It's more on a case-by-case basis. The plans you can choose are customizable. So you can choose the deductible amount, your coverage, time, how long they're covered under the plan. So it could be more expensive, it could be less expensive. It just depends on how much coverage you would like or need.
Okay, so
And we can go over this
Yeah,
in a little bit as well.
Yeah, a little, like, one more question if I can.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you're recording that, right? I just
We
got
are
into
recording.
that conference. Yeah, so I'd like, can we get access to the video once we finish? Because I just get connected and I would like to review once again from the beginning. Is it possible?
We're planning to share the recording then, yes. Check your
Yeah,
email, your
please.
student email. We'll send out a link probably.
It will be in our Hotmail, right?
Yes, in your Hawkmail account. Give me a day or
Yeah.
two to figure it out, but yes, that's the plan.
Okay, okay, thank you. So I'll be checking to review everything. Thank you.
Good questions. Any other questions about what we've covered so far? All right. Well, if you do, just keep asking away. You guys have great questions. So going back to the main page, we've covered the 4 tiles, and now we'll just get to dive into a little bit more about our ancillary services. So these are services that are free to you that can help save costs as well as provide great care. The first one I'm going to cover is Teladoc, and it is this one right here. In Teladoc, you can think of this as virtual care. So let's say that it's 2 or 3 a.m. and you wake up with a really bad stomach ache and you're worried about what it could be. If you download the Teladoc app, you'll be able to speak to a virtual care doctor 24/7, and they can actually look at problems such as like sinus infections, bronchitis, allergies, ear infections, even like UTIs. And it is not subject to the copay amounts, so it's a great way to save as well. They can prescribe, but that would be subject to the prescription drug benefit that we discussed earlier. So they can prescribe medication if it is needed. So, and it is available on the App Store and Google Play. And yeah, it's pretty easy to use. It's a great service to have. Next, we have TELUS, which is similar to Teladoc, but it centers around mental health. So it's an app you can download where you can speak to a mental health counselor about, getting used to life here in the United States, family members, like relationship issues, if you're feeling lonely, anything that may be on your mind in a specific situation. And it is 24/7 support in 5 languages. But if there's a language that isn't in that 24/7 support, they can get someone available within 24 hours. And it is free to you to talk with those mental health professionals. So it's another great service that if you want to just let some steam off or just kind of verbalize what's going through your mind, it's a great service to use. And next we have Together All, and we actually have a little short video that I wanted to show that kind of highlights Together All and how it operates as a kind of like a Reddit for mental health. So pull this up here.
I'm not hearing any audio in the video. I don't know if you have to share audio somehow.
Is the audio not working?
Yeah, sometimes you have to share the audio, like click the share audio when you're sharing your screen with Zoom.
Okay. Apologies about that. Can everybody hear now?
Yes.
I'm a mom.
All right, so that is just a short video about Together All. And Together All, like I was mentioning earlier, is a service available where it's like Reddit for mental health. So you can go to togetherall.com and join, and you can post anonymously, and you can comment anonymously about other people's thoughts, what you're thinking, anything that's on your mind. And it was a really good sense of community. And like the video kind of showed, helps you create a strong bond and reassurance about the stuff you're going through. And students really enjoy going on it. They spend about an hour or so on, and it is monitored by a mental health professional. So if there's something showing that is a little concerning, they'll step in and make sure that either you're taken care of or that person that's commenting can be taken care of. So that's Together All. And then finally, for our ancillary services, we have Scholastic Emergency Services. So this is a service available that is here, but we hope you never have to use. So let's say that you get into an accident and you're in the hospital for more than 5 days. Scholastic Emergency Services can arrange to have your immediate family member flown into the United States to stay with you while you're in the hospital. If you have an immediate family member that passes away in your home country, they will help get your flights back for the funeral. If it's determined that you need to go back home to your home country for medical reasons, they'll help arrange those flights as well. And also, if God forbid something were to happen to you and you were to pass away, they would help get you back to your home country and make sure it's done in a respectful manner. The important thing with them, they're great to work with, but they do not reimburse, so they do not pay back. So if you try to go pay for flights and then contact them, they will not be available or not be able to pay you back for those flights. So it is really important that they be reached out to if something does happen immediately, just so they know how to expedite the process. And there's two numbers that we recommend that you share. The first one is inside the USA number. So you can share this with a roommate, a family member that lives in the United States, someone that you trust that's here in the US. And then there's a phone number for outside of the USA that you can share with your family in your home country. So those are both options. And there's also email as well. They're really easy to work with, and we can actually file for you if you would like. So you can just contact us if you think that something's going on. And if it turns out not to be a big deal, we can cancel that too. So it's always good if there is a serious situation arising to contact Scholastic Emergency Services as soon as possible.
So Ben, I'm just going to mention this because it was a question in the chat. Somebody asked if we had repatriation benefits built into the plan, and we do. In the policy, you have $25,000 for repatriation and $50,000 for medical evacuation. But this service, SES, is in addition to all of that. And like Ben mentioned, it offers quite a bit more. So they'll pretty much pay for everything if you contact them first about it. So.
That's correct, yeah. Any other questions about ancillary services or Scholastic Emergency Services?
I would like to mention that if you're registering for those ancillary services like Teledoc or TELUS Health or TogetherAll, when you're registering your account, be sure to use your school email address. So what if it might be like at hacc.edu, but whatever your school email address is, use that when you're registering. That's how these services know that you're a student, and therefore your account will be free. You should not be paying for an account if you're registering for it. So if you get that memo, you might be doing something wrong there.
Good point. Excellent point. Yeah, always use your student email to log in for these services. And we did have a question about dependent coverage. So this is another option down here below where you can add your spouse or your daughter or son, family members that are here with you. And like I said, it's highly customizable. So all you have to do is click the quote button here, and you can enter in the dates that you would like, as well as your maximum, your deductibles, and everything for them. And the brochure is here as well. So if you have any questions at all, you can give us a call at that number that we listed up here, and we'll be able to help you with your dependent care coverage. And then we have the dental and vision options. So your health insurance plan with Lure Mark Student Insurance covers accidents that may damage your teeth. So let's say that you are running, fall, break your jaw, and you lose several teeth. That would be covered under the plan. However, if you're looking for routine, just cleanings or checkups or anything like that, that would not be covered under the main Lure Mark plan. But we do have some dental and vision options available for you. So there's two dental, well, the best one that we have available is the Carrington Dental and Vision Discount Plan. It provides discounts on those cleanings, eye exams, and just regular procedures, anywhere from 20% to 50% off. And it's a great plan to choose because it's really inexpensive. It's $25 for the year plus a $10 processing fee to get you signed up. And it's a little bit more if you sign up for a family. I think it's $63 if you include yourself and your family under the plan. So that's a great option as well. And there's individual plans for dental insurance and vision too, if you would like. But usually we recommend, if you're looking for something, to check out Carrington Dental and Vision Discount Plan first. And also, there's a great button here with the new student orientation. And it just goes through several videos that are really helpful, like how to use your insurance, what do you need to bring to the doctor's office, using your wellness benefits at a pharmacy, how to print your ID card, and some of the services we have available, like we talked about, TELUS, MySSP, Togetherall, how to register on Teledoc. It's a great place to go to kind of take a look and see what's available. Then finally, we have here how to submit a claims questionnaire. So if something does happen and you need to go to the doctor and they send you a bill, or if they reach out to you and provide you with the bill despite the fact you have insurance, you can reach out to us directly using that 1-800 number and that email. But also you can submit a claims questionnaire through this right here. And it'll just walk through the process behind getting that claims questionnaire filled out. So that's the main thing. Any questions about this information? No? Okay. To close everything out, I want to go over to, we do offer a scholarship option available. It usually comes with a prompt, and it's a way for you to kind to show your creativity, more or less. We're still figuring out some of the finer tuned details for this fall semester, but they are, you can do video, you can do artwork. There's actually some artwork in our office from students in the past, and it's just a way for you to use your tools and the gifts that are given to you to potentially win some money. So, and help pay for your student bills and all the things that come with being a student. Cassie, did I miss anything on the presentation, or does anybody have any questions?
How did you get to that scholarship information?
So yeah, if you want to get that scholarship information, it would just be on the luremark.com main page, and then just click right here to view. But it's still being ironed out for the fall. It should be posted shortly. I think it's a pretty cool prompt coming. I don't want to tell you what it is yet, but it is on the way.
Yeah, and that should go live. All those details should go live here in the next week or so. We said in the middle of September. I think it's like September 18th, maybe. So definitely come back and check it out.
All right. Any questions about the information or anything that you wanted to bring up personally?
Oh, Ben, can you go over what happens if a student receives a bill from the doctor?
Yes, sure. So if you do receive a bill from the doctor after you visit the doctor, we highly recommend that, first off, don't panic, we're here to help. But if you just contact our student advocacy advisors at that 1-800-821-7710 or email the Luremark supports, we'll be able to help out and make sure that that doctor has all the information so the bill is taken care of.
I see
Good
a
point.
question in the chat if emergency surgery is covered.
Yeah, I was going to answer that. Well, I'll just say it now. So emergency surgery, it'll depend if it's medically necessary and if it's a covered service. Some surgeries we do not cover, and those will be most likely in the excluded list of your brochure. So like I know, for instance, a deviated septum is not covered, but it's a surgery. So if it's a covered surgery and it's medically necessary and it's in network, then it will be covered at 100%. If it's out of network, it will be covered at 80%, and then you would be responsible for the leftover 20%. So hopefully that answered your question.
Would you say in like a non-emergency situation, it's best to check with you guys to confirm something will be covered before doing it?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that is a great point. Yeah, if you have any doubt or question about some kind of service you're looking into and you're wondering if it's going to be covered, please reach out to us and we will let you know. Sometimes it's hard to answer or guarantee that it will be covered depending on how the doctor, sends us the claim, depending on the codes that they use. But for the most part, we can tell you if something's going to be covered or not.
Good questions. Oh, yeah. All right. Well, if you do have any other questions, like we showed earlier, don't hesitate to call, email, or chat with us, and we'll be able to help you out. But yeah, it was a pleasure meeting everybody, and I wish you nothing but the best for your semester in the fall, and hope your studies go well, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Good to see all of you this afternoon. Have a great day.
Yeah, have a great
Thank
day.
you.